Greetings to you all. My name is Willy Wonka. You see, I'm something of a magician. Prepare to be amazed.
Teapot.
Inventor. May I present Willy Wonka's wild and wonderful wishy-washy Wonka Walker? Please don't make me say that again. And chocolate maker.
I am so looking forward to seeing this. That is a look at Wonka starring Timothée Chalamet, which is hitting theaters tomorrow.
Timothée Chalamet is having a moment. He's
really
just
is.
so good.
Yeah.
And there are a whole lot more flicks out this holiday season. Our friend, Fandango editor Nikki Novak, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Wonka, one of your favorites?
Not only is it one of my favorites, they have early screenings for critics. I've gone 4 times.
Oh my gosh!
I love it that much.
Wow.
This is directed by Paul King, who did the Paddington movies.
Yeah.
So if you know those movies, people who have kids probably know it.
Yeah.
But it really is, it's a younger Willy Wonka than we see later in the Gene Wilder version
Yes.
and the Johnny Depp version. And this one is not a cynic. This Wonka is just becoming a chocolatier. He is very sweet, not bitter at all. And it's just, it is such a feel-good. It's so good for families during the holidays. I'm always looking for something that everybody can go see. But just such a throwback. It almost makes you feel like you're on watching a Broadway show.
So this is more of a new version with the younger.
Yes.
He's just starting out. Is there the whole golden ticket thing in this movie, or is it really focused on him?
The golden ticket does not exist yet. He is just
wow.
coming to
See,
this town where there was a lot of famous chocolatiers, and he really wants to carry on his mother's legacy. She taught him how to make chocolate. She passed on, and so he's really just starting out in the world. And it is set 25 years before the
that's
Gene
amazing.
Wilder version.
What I wanted to do was read the book to my kids and then take them, but I guess it doesn't make sense. So this is...
You know what? They can see it without knowing the previous
Okay.
iterations, but it would help sort of for context.
I like a little
always.
prequel.
A little prequel is
Right?
nice, and it makes you go back, and I then rewatch the other
Yeah.
2. After that, you just want to be ensconced in chocolate in that world.
Yeah, what's
it's
wrong
so
with
good.
chocolate? Let's talk about Aquaman, right? Hitting theaters next week.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The first one came out in 2018, and it made over $1 billion. And I think it's because if you like a little camp with your superhero movies, which I do, and you like seeing Jason Momoa whip his hair in slow motion, this is the one for you. I mean, it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like I said, James Wan back to direct it. Nicole Kidman is back. Yahya Abdul-Mateen plays Black Manta. He's the villain in this one. And of course, with a superhero movie, they're just saving the world. No big deal.
You've got to be a big deal to bring in over $1 billion these days. Do you think it could happen?
It's hard to say because this is a really stacked holiday season. We'll see. This could be the last time he plays this role, so people might show up. And of course, if they show up in those sorts of numbers, maybe he'll come back again. Yeah.
Speaking of, Oprah's really having a moment right now
Yes.
in all of her purple outfits. The color purple is back in theaters, so what's happening?
I bought a purple dress because of Oprah's influence.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes, well, she's talked about how the color purple, more than anything she's done in her career, really changed her life. Of course, she starred in the 1985 version that was directed by Steven Spielberg. This one is based on the stage production, so it is a musical, and by design, this is a very heavy story set in the early 1900s, but this is really a story of joy. Like, I could not believe how elated I felt after, and the cast have been showing up in LA for all these Q&As, and people are just spontaneously standing up and cheering in it. It really has that feeling, and Fantasia Barrino was just nominated for Best Actress at the Golden Globes, Danielle Brooks for Best Supporting Actress, so you're gonna see some nominations. I know the SAG Awards are a ways away, but when they have that ensemble award for the whole cast, this would be my #1 choice.
You think there'll be some Oscar buzz around them too?
Definitely, definitely. And Oprah producing. I mean, come on.
What's wrong? Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about American Fiction featuring Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, who is also having a moment. You know, he's one of those actors that has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you Google him, you will see how many projects he's actually been in. But this movie won the Audience Award at TIFF, which is sometimes an indicator of what will win the Oscar.
Oh.
And right now, I think Barbenheimer is again having a moment. People are talking about it during award season.
I know.
But watch out for this movie. It's very, very clever. Jeffrey Wright plays a writer who is really fed up with the way Black stories are told. He's a novelist. He writes very highbrow stuff. And so almost as a spoof, he writes something that he feels is really beneath him, and it becomes a bestseller.
Of course.
So of course he has to deal with, am I going to embrace it, or am I going to remain, steadfast and true to my beliefs?
Right.
So it's a really great and brilliantly written.
And really quick, what about Iron Claw?
Iron Claw, oh my gosh. This is the true story of a 1980s, you're nodding like you know this family, the Von Erichs, who are a famous wrestling family that I knew nothing about. It stars Zac Efron, who put on, I think, 20 or 30 pounds of muscle for this role. Jeremy Allen White. Anybody who's seen The Bear? Yes, Chef. He also stars in this. This is one of those stories that if you don't know it, just go see this movie. I watched it going, if you had written this not knowing it was a true story, nobody in Hollywood would have bought it. They would have said it's too far-fetched. An incredibly
It's a
tragic
wild,
story.
yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, it's about, I think, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So definitely worth a watch. And really, really affected me deeply when I walked out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. And Zac Efron's got a lot of buzz around this one, too.
He is, too. Really great. I think it's his best role.
Nikki, great to have you as always,
Thank you
all right?
for having me.
Come on
Happy
back. Nice
holidays.
boots, too. Great boots.